So, good morning. There we are. All right. So, man, oh man, those markets are rambunctious. They do not want to go down. Let's see what's going down here in the news here to see what the movers and shakers are. But welcome to the Morning Brew. My name is Angel, and we're going to see where are the opportunities today in the marketplace. So, what are we going to do first? Let's get in here. Let's jump in because we got about 30 minutes or so. At the end, we'll take a brief moment to ask some questions because I want to give you guys some time to set up some trades properly to see where the opportunities are. So we're going to give you about 30 minutes right before the market opens. But if you have any questions, just write it in there. Let me know where you're from in the comments or any tickers you want to look at to see, or if you know of any opportunity, share the wealth. So let's get down to it. But at first, let's dissect the news and find out where the market sentiment is. And the reason why we do that is like going out there and making sure that, you want to see before you go outside, how's the weather? Is the weather sunny? Is it rainy? Is it cold? Is it windy? And we want to dress appropriately before we hit that, not to mean before we go outside. So that's how we check the sentiment. So, but let's dive in. Let's check the news first to see what's out there that could potentially move the market. So what are we going to do? We're going to go into barons. I already dissected this. But again, as you can tell, there's an inflation roars as the Federal Reserve faces a thorny choice. There's a big pink elephant in the room, guys. And, the markets are still going up. That means that they're still buying. But the taper, that's going to be, big. They're having an FOMC meeting on Wednesday. And their discussion there is whether they're going to, inflation is pretty high, guys. I mean, it's a rocket scientist. You can go to Tom Nash on YouTube. He's done a great description on basically, he's an analyst, really great. He's a man of the people to basically break down inflation for you. And there's many other people out there. But there's no surprise when you go to the supermarket, are you paying more? Obviously, yes. So it is affecting individuals from across the board, so I want and how long would this last? So they have to raise interest rates. At some moment, they're going to have to do that or let the economy collapse. I don't know. I'm not an analyst. You tell me what do you think is going to happen. But on Wednesday, all eyes on Wednesday. I expect an extremely volatile week heading into Wednesday. But you know what? Let's dive in. Let's look at the news right here. And I'm going to add this right here. So barons, they talk about the inflation roars Federal Reserve faces as a thorny choice. And they give a really good chart here on how high inflation is. Now, they say it's 6.8. I believe it's much higher. Remember, food, gas are not included. And also rent. No matter where you are in the United States, how much rent has gone up. So you also have to factor that in. Because those are things that everybody pays on a day-to-day basis. So at some moment, how far can we go? And also Congress is just they're passing another bill, and very interesting. We're living in a very interesting time. No doom and gloom here. We're gonna look at the opportunity because remember, we look for opportunities up or down, but basically we're going to be looking now. Apple's market cap is heading to 3 trillion. I think they're going to take it up there. Apple had an amazing move. I think on news, I think it's two things. I think it's a flight to safety, and also I think it's basically they're coming out with some new headwear gear, so the iPhone's not going to be on your glasses. So pretty interesting times. We're getting closer and closer to that. Eventually they're going to be inside of us. I don't know how you feel about that. Let me know. What do you think? Would you wear a chip inside of you to make you smarter, faster? No. I'm leaning towards no, but you never know. But it's over. Does the market like that? And I think we're kind of heading that way, but that's just an opinion, guys. Never mind about opinions. Broadcom's shares are rallying really good. But overall, what I'm noticing is this Omicron news is starting to pick up again. There was one death in China that I noticed, or in England, and then here is COVID-19 affected on inflation. There's some other news that I saw that basically, nothing really big here. But the one thing I want to show you here is Elon. Elon has basically is around 75% done selling his shares. So the other 25%, and this is his filing here, the other 25%. So I believe that might be an opportunity moving forward once he gets done selling his shares. And I've noticed that the shares are being sold right around 950 to 1,000. That 1,000 area is held pretty strong, but that's all we have there. Also, as far as inflation, as far as things to watch this week, we have, FedEx, Lennar, and we have a few others here, but I think those are the two that we're going to watch the earnings report and find out how well or bad the economy is doing. Remember, this is transportation and this is real estate. So, they're going to give us a little clue to what is among us, whether they guide up or guide down. So not really for a play here, but just more of inside information, if you want to call it that. All right. So the other thing too is what else we got here. Let me see. I think I wrote that. And the things we're going to be looking at here is Wednesday, 2 o'clock, guys. Now, I do have a play here that we can probably play that. It'll be for a day trade. Make sure to tune in. Make sure to subscribe and like, because that's going to be a doozy. Now, it'll be a lotto play, but a lotto play with a lot of potential. Boom, boom, right? All right, so Powell's going to speak on 2:30. We'll be having a lot of volatility going into this week, as I suspected. Also, we're close to Christmas, so here's the deal. The markets have held up pretty high, and I'm going to go into the markets right now. Let's see where the overall markets here. So the markets have held pretty high. Now, what we're looking at the XPX, NDX, and Russell, okay? And this is the daily parts. So we bounced nicely off the 50-day moving average. So what are we looking at as far as the indicators here is the 50-day moving average is the white line, and then we have the MACDs, and then I just look at price level. The other indicators here I don't really utilize. It just kind of helps me decide, it's the 4-day, the 20, and the 30, but I really don't look at them, okay? So what I'm looking at is just key levels here, right? So number one, we've been bouncing off the 50-day pretty strong, and we're rallying pretty hard. Now, all-time highs here is 47.44. We only were up there for about 2 hours, right? So now we bounce off the 50. As I mentioned in the past, we needed a bounce, and we got the bounce. Now, the MACDs are turning here on the dailies, but we're pretty far away from the 50. I don't like that setup. So the key question is here. Powell needs to make a decision. Is the market going to react positive or negative towards that? I'm not noticing a lot of the S&P 500, Nasdaq, or Russell trading above the 200-day moving average, which will tell me basically that this move will go higher. At least that's how I'm reading it. You tell me how you read it, but that's how I'm reading it. So is this a blow-off, a sell-off, right? So is this rally going to be short-lived? Even if it breaks through, but if we form a lower high here, can we break down that zero by Wednesday? Is this an exhaustion sell? Now, ideally, if we were looking at it from a perspective, a further out perspective, this would be a nice bounce. This is how we like to trade. But, guys, we only spent minimum time there. So today, if 47.20 is going to be the sell zone. There's been a sell zone between 47.47 and 47.20. Now, anything is possible. If we break that, then the sell zone now becomes the buy zone, but that is going to be the line in the sand right there. Now, I do have a play. Now, here's the thing. My theory is this. Is Powell going to wait till the markets prop up, and then on Wednesday, he's going to take it down? And since we're pretty far up, the market can absorb a sell-off and still be positive for the year, right? Because if we look at for the year, let's look. So we're in December. This is 2021. In 2021, we started right here. So, he says, yeah, they're going to taper. They're going to raise interest rates. So it will be a sell-off, right? And the market sells off 200, 300 points. We'll be at 4,400. We're still positive for the year. That's what's happening now? I'm highly, highly suspect of that. And that's where the opportunity is. That's what I'm looking at. There'll be a great opportunity on Wednesday. I'm going to wait till Wednesday to see if that is true. I'm going to see how the market reacts today. But that's my theory. And I think there'll be an amazing, humongous, big opportunity on Wednesday. Make sure to subscribe and like because you don't want to miss that. Okay, so index, the Nasdaq still working its way lower. We didn't cross here, and is it going to go higher? Maybe, I don't know. Well, again, this is an opinion. I'm just trying to guess what's moving forward. And is that Omicron news going to get some steam, right? Because if that builds some steam, that's an excuse for shutting down the economy or whatever comes with that. I don't know, right? But that's going to be the reason for a potential decline. I don't know. Or a breakout. Again, we're going to be looking at price action. So here's the deal. XPX. If we break 47.44 and start breaking higher with force, then more than likely that sell zone will be a buy zone and the MACDs are going to rally. How far is that rally? I don't know, but we'll be taking advantage of that. Or does it sell off? Nasdaq. And remember, Powell has to make a big decision come Wednesday. It's huge. Inflation has gone crazy. We eliminated the word transitory. Again, they're not going to use that to describe inflation. Now, the index is going higher, 16,456. And again, we're going to dissect this, and I'm going to show you a new way I decided this weekend to help my stock traders, to help my day traders, to help everyone how to really show you exactly how I see the markets and where the opportunities lie. And I'm going to give you the secret sauce. Would you like? I'm going to give you the secret. I decided that. I'm just going to give it to you. Now, the Russell, we're below the 50-day moving average, right? And as you can see, the Russell's still low. We try to break out. There's a fake out, and we're still in this range, okay? We are below the 200-day moving average. And if I look at it from this perspective, this is a dead cat bounce. Now, how do we know if it's over? If it breaks above 2278 and it goes higher, breaks that 50, then okay, things are good. But right now we're coming to the end, and we're going to see how this reacts. Does it go lower? Does this go lower, break zero? Does this go lower, break zero? Okay. Are you ready? Let's dive in. It's 48.43. So right off the bat, we're going to look at the VIX. VIX is still around 19, still above 18 level. So we're still holding. These are weeks, hourlies. We're still holding above that 2 week zone, and the VIX looks like it wants to climb. So if we break zero, we start breaking that 2140s. You can tell my alert is up there. Then that's going to signal to me that there'll be a pullback. Okay. The Treasury notes, we rallied because the yields went down, right? That's why we rallied, right? The yields went down. So as long as the yields stay in this area, tech should be okay and the rally should be intact. But is this going to start creeping higher, right? Maybe, maybe not. And we'll soon find out on Wednesday. All right. So what are we going to do here? Here is the E-minis here, okay? So the E-minis, we rallied overnight. As you can tell, we look at the 4 a.m. hour, which is right there, 4 a.m., and the line in the sand has already been placed. We're going to be looking at 47.20 on the E-minis. Now, as you know, 4 a.m. is a big threshold. If we start breaking above that, then more likely we are going to be bullish for the day. If we can break above that, that's going to be a major level of resistance, and we start probably coming down. Okay, how far can we go down? To about 46.62 on the E-minis. All right, so there you have it. If we break above that, then then we have other things in mind. Now let's dive in. So right off the bat, as you can tell, this is the 15-minute chart, but I'm going to break it down for you. I'm just going to use this to see what is moving pre-market. So right off the bat, I do have a trade on Tesla. He's about 75% done, and I'm going to dissect that. We're going to look at Amazon, and Google is moving pre-market. Now, anything is possible with Google. And ISRG moving pre-market. Chipotle, I'm going to suspect the Chipotle. Let's see if this thing has legs. But I do believe it has legs, and it's probably going to go 47.50s, 47.56. Right off the bat, I'm just going to screen real quick. LRCX looks good. Is it going to move? Maybe. Shopify moving pre-market. Let's see if that has legs. Netflix moving pre-market. Something came out on Netflix. Some news this morning. Looks is reacting positive to that. Roku, is it going to move, right? Had a big move. Is it going to take it out? We're going to have some headwinds here of 245. So I'm going to dive into, I'm just going to screen here. Apple moving, it's a monster. Trade desk, okay. I'm just going to glance real quick. Goldman Sachs working his way lower. And as you know, anything's possible. HubSpot moving pre-market. All right, chips. Let's see what the chips are. Qualcomm on fire, but anything can happen in the next 30 minutes. So let's see. All right, let's set up some trades for today. Bitcoin. All right, cool. I have a dollar bet on Bitcoin. I'll tell you about it. All right, so let's dive in. So right off the bat, what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you my setups here. How do I know when to get in? Real simple. I'm going to give it to you. This is the daily. I'm going to have a 3-part. So you can go here to TradingView. If you haven't subscribed, there's a link on the description. Link on that. It's free, and there's a paid subscription. Great thing. But I have a 3-setter here. Now, what I have, I'm going to go through real quick my setups here that I have, and I'm going to go through the XPX. So XPX, as you can tell, we're pretty high. This is the hourlies. This is the 15-minute time frame. As you can tell, we have some headwinds up here. 2 headwinds. MACDs on the hourlies looks like it wants to break down, and on the 15-minute time frame, we're pretty far away from the 50. We're going to have to pull back at some moment around 4,700, 4,690 at some moment. Don't know if that's going to happen, but we're pretty flat line here. This isn't really a lot of activity. We had a little bit of a push at the end of Friday. We're probably going to end up here 47.12. We're probably going to end up somewhere around where we open, like right around there, possibly. Okay, so that's on the Nasdaq. So as you can tell, right off the bat, what I'm looking at, if you're trading stocks, you want to trade stocks on the daily and you don't have time, you want to take the same trade. I'm trying to show you this is basically off the 50-day moving average with the same principles here, bouncing off the 50, working his way higher. That's a good time to get into a trade if you're trading longer term. Now, you don't want to follow a trade when we're pretty far away from the 50. If you do, I would trade with a smaller amount because you're pretty far away from the 50. That's a low probability trade, and you're setting yourself up for what's called an exhaustion sell-off as it pulls back. But as you can tell, we want to take those trades off the 50. Now, again, on the hourlies, we're pretty far away from the 50 if you're going to trade that time zone. And again, we just bounced on Friday and we're pretty far away. Now, it could go higher, but there will be a pullback imminent. You just have to trust in the pullback. The Nasdaq, same type of thing. Working its way lower. We're pretty hard up. Is it going to break through? Is this going to break? And it's not really ideal, or is it going to break down? Now, we're going to be watching for trades at the 50. And again, Nasdaq on the hourlies, pretty far away from the 50. And this was a trade you could have taken at the end of the day, right? This was an ideal on the 15-minute time frame if you're trading Nasdaq. Now, you probably will be out of the trade because, I don't know, would you want to hold over the weekend? Now, Russell's not going to come up for some reason, so I'm going to skip the gun because I wanted to look at Google. All right, let's look at Google. Pretty far away from the 50. So if you're looking from a stock trade perspective, not ideal. We just crossed. Is this going to be the beginning of a new momentum swing on the daily? Maybe, possibly. How do you know? If it breaks that 3,000 level, then this probably can start picking up some steam. Possibly, okay? Now, pre-market on the hourlies, we are moving. Now, on the hourlies, Google's looking like if it breaks through here and breaks that 3,000, it's probably going to run. So that's a trade right there on Google. But on the hourlies, if you can tell, now, if the momentum swing right here, and this is why I like Google right here, if it breaks down and breaks below zero, this trade is no go. So no go. Watch the momentum. If it shifts, then if breaks down, breaks zero, that trade is going to come back down to the 50. So watch the MACDs for a breakout. Now, we also need to watch that 3,000 level if you're trading the hourlies to give you the exact we're going to be looking at 29.79, 29.80, and then we're going to be looking at 29.82 to give it that pop. Okay, now, what do I mean by that? It doesn't mean that there's buyers up there. I just know there's sellers up there, and more than likely, if we can take those guys out, it'll probably pop to 3,000. Now, if we're looking at the 15-minute time frame, again, I got you on the hourlies. On the 50-minute time frame, we're pretty far away. And again, we're noticing the same type of thing, 21.81, 82, and can it break out? Now, anything's possible for the next 30 minutes. Let me see, my other computer went off. All right, so that's one right there. Amazon, let's go in there. Amazon, let's dissect here. So Amazon on the dailies, you can tell we are at the 50-day moving average and buyers came in. So this is going to give you a perspective on where we're at on Amazon. Now, on the MACDs, we are very close to breaking down. So if the 50-day gets taken out, then Amazon is going to go down on the dailies, right? Next level is the green line, which is the 200-day moving average. It is holding that level. Now, if the overall markets pull back, and this is what I mean, it doesn't seem like we are very close. So a lot of the movers and shakers that were propping up the markets, they're starting to sell those off, with the exception of Apple. So again, watch right there as far as Amazon. So again, if this starts breaking down, the dailies started telling me that this is breaking down. On the hourlies, we already broke that one. That again, on the 50-day, we already broke down. We're going to watch this level of 34.91 on the hourlies. And if the MACDs start coming up and breaking down, then this is going to confirm this breakdown right here. That's how we set it up. If we're going for a day trade on the 15-minute time frame, again, we're probably going to get a pop. What are we looking at for today? We're going to be looking at 35.25, 35.18. Now, again, is this going to bounce and head up there? That is possibly a trade. Now, the question is, are we going to break that? Possibly. If we do break that, then we're probably going to break this 50-day moving average, and this is going to start going higher. So again, we trade both sides, but take the trades near the 50-day moving average, okay? Don't take it away from it, because that's going to be a low probability trade. You decide which one you want to do. We're close here. We can bounce. We can break through or bounce down on the hourlies, on the dailies, but all three trades are very close to the 50-day moving average. Okay, give yourself some extra time. Now, I like Tesla. As you can tell, we're looking at the dailies here. And again, 50-day moving average. They are buying this thing at 949. They're buying it, okay? So they're doing an amazing job of selling Elon shares. Remember, they sold 75% of it. And again, now we were at 1,200. This thing has monster upgrades. It's holding up. Now, what I love here is what I love to see. Now, I need confirmation here, but the MACDs are at the 0. This is ideally how we like to trade. This is a setup that I love to see on any time frame. We're at the 50. We are here. Now, are they going to take Tesla up today? Now, if the MACDs break down below 0, then the more likely we're going to break that 50-day moving average, and we're going to watch this level of 950. Now, remember, the buyers came in there. Now, if that gets taken out, then we go lower. You can probably fill in that gap at 908, and then we'll see. Now, are they going to take it down? I don't know, but I'm just giving you the levels and seeing what we're looking at. So if this bounce is breaking through, this is going to be a bounce, and that's going to be a beautiful, beautiful entry if you're a stock buyer right there. Now, the levels we're going to be looking at is 1073. That is going to be a bear trap, and basically they're going to cover, and then it's going to pop it up to another level. So right there is your stock trade if you're trading the dailies or option trade, whatever you decide to trade. Now, that's going to give yourself more time in that time frame. Now, when you look at Tesla from an hourly perspective, again, we are close. So again, that same level, if we get that bounce, we're going to see it take out that 1073, and it's probably going to pop. I have my alerts up there at 1103. Nice round number. Let's see if Tesla can break through. If on the hourlies, this thing starts breaking down, then that is an entry to what? The downside. And I gave you the levels to the downside, but you're going to have to decide. Don't wait. We're close to the 50. That's when you have to make your decision. at the 50. If you're too far away from the 50 and you make your decision, you might get it right, you might not, but again, or paper trade this thing. On the 15-minute time frame, we look pretty set up. I'm going to see if it can bounce off of here, bounce off of 0, take out that 1023, and then we're going to take those trades to the upside. So once again, now I am going a little slower. I'm a little bit behind, so I'm just going to breeze through. I hope that was informative. If you like that information, press that like, press that subscribe, and let's get to it. So ISRG is one that I like. Now here's the thing. ISRG is at the 50-day moving average. This thing sold off pretty hard. This is medical, right? So is it going to take it higher? Don't know. But the MACDs look like it probably wants to go. We have a fresh set of MACDs. We are trading sideways on the daily. Now, if this thing goes higher, it can probably go to 364. Okay? So on the hourlies, it's setting up. Let it pull back. Let's say we can bounce here and break those highs. And you will see that if we bounce, that means they're taking it higher, and it could probably go to those levels. Now, ISRG on the 50-minute time frame, we are heading sideways. Now, if the 50-minute starts breaking down and we break that 339, then we're probably, and this thing goes to 0, bounces, then we're probably going to go lower. But we're going to watch that 342 level on ISRG because we're at the 50. Anything's possible. They can take it up or they can take it down. But this is going to be a high probability trade. Now, CMG, once again, they sold it off on CMG. CMG has a major. Now, they sold it off. I saw buyers come back in. But how are you going to know? We're going to look at T levels on CMG. 1755. The 50-day moving average is breaking down. If that can break up, they're going to probably take it up again. But we'll see. Now, we took some nice trades on this rally. On the hourlies, let's see if it bounces here, bounces off 0, and this is what I like to see. I'm going to show you that this is exactly what we saw on Tesla in the dailies, but now we're seeing it on CMG on the hourlies. If this thing comes down, bounces off 50, and the MACDs bounces off here, we can possibly go higher, and we can take out 1756. This thing can go higher. Now, if it breaks down, that is a no-go trade. Again, all right? So watch the MACDs for how momentum is shifting. And also, again, and if you just want to take a day trade, that's fine. But we are consolidating. CMG doesn't consolidate sideways very much. So a decision will be made on CMG. Which way is it going to go? We'll be watching that 1727 and then 1742 to see which way it goes. All right. Apple running. Again, does it need to pull back? It does. But it's running. Again, as you can tell, the dailies, it ran. Okay. So this is a clear example why you want to take trades off the 50-day moving average, because especially when it's using that as a level of support. Good job if you took that trade. On the hourlies, the entry was about 1. We had an entry on Friday, right? And then an entry on the 6th. On the 15-minute time frame, I'm seeing weakness. Let's see how far it can go. I'm going to be watching that 180 level, and let's see how it reacts there. But again, we're pretty far away from the 50. I wouldn't like to chase this trade, but it's up to you. All right, so going to go in there. What did I like here right off the bat? Let's say 59. All right, good. We're moving. All right, so I'm going to real quick just kind of glance through this. LRCX right there. We're pretty far up on the daily, so no trade there. On the hourlies, if this thing can bounce, that is a potential trade there at 700, 705. This is the chip manufacturer, remember that. So these guys are good. On the 50-minute time frame, if it can take out that 713 and give me some swings there, that might be a possibility. But I like the trade setup on the hourlies. Watch the 15 if you're taking the hourlies. If this thing starts bouncing, this is going to bounce and probably hit that high of 720 from 705. That's a trade. Now let's move on. Shopify, looking good pre-market. Let's see if it can take out. So right off the bat, we're at the 50-day moving average. There's some major headwinds on Shop on 1538 on the hour, on the dailies, right? This is the dailies on the left. On the right, I have the hourlies. On the bottom, the 15-minute time frame. Now we are moving on the 15-minute time frame. So let's see if we can get some potential swings. Now this move has started on Friday. It's continuing, so we're probably midstream in that momentum swing on the 15-minute time frame. On the hourlies, if this thing starts breaking up, breaking the 50, then that could be a potential trade to the upside. 1538, it can get it going. All right, 1538, we're at 1479. You do have 1500 in the middle there. So now, if this thing starts turning down, then they're going to take Shopify back down to 1340, 1358. So remember, we got both sides here. Now, Netflix, if you look at Netflix is down on the daily. So we have a dead cat bounce occurring, the liquidating Netflix. Now we are at the end of the daily as far as Netflix. Now I like this basing pattern that may or may not occur here at 593. If it can take out 633, this is where we're going to trap the bears, and they can probably go up to 648. This is on the daily, but it's working lower in the most recent month here. Now as far as the hourlies, we're going to be looking, if that's true, it's going to take out that 620. It starts working its way higher. Let's see how it reacts. That's at 620. It can go to 633. On Netflix, on the 15-minute time frame, we have some nice pre-action mark moving. Is this going to hold? Is it going to go up? Can it take out that 618, bounce down, and break through? Again, all right, so that's what we got on Netflix. Roku, you can know they've been selling it off. Something's changed here. Momentum has shifted. It probably is going to go back to test that 266 at some time, or are they going to take it lower? Remember, Wednesday, everything's going to change on Wednesday. As far as the hourlies, I would like it to see above that 240 level. And on the 15-minute time frame, we're at a pinnacle moment here. So 230, 232 to get it going. It could break down. If this starts breaking down, then they're probably going to push Roku lower. If they take it lower, then they're probably going to fill this gap here of 220, and then it has 198 ballpark. All right, NVIDIA working its way lower, let it come down. Probably wants to come to that 50-day moving average, so we'll see around 280 if you want to go long. Still looks bearish on the hourlies. And NVIDIA, if it takes out that 303, or is it going to bounce? We'll see right there. Melly, again, they sold this off pretty hard. And again, we have 1221, 1016 on the hourlies. Are they going to bounce it or take it lower? It looks like they're probably going to take it lower. We'll see. And again, on the 15-minute time frame, looks like they want to take it lower. Okay, if they're going to take it lower, and it says goes lower, it's going to go to 1126 from 1149. All right, we did Apple, TTD. Again, they're taking this thing lower. No trade. I mean, there's a lot of trades here. Goldman Sachs needs to break above 400. Not very positive on Goldman, right? Remember, the overall market needs to be bullish on Goldman. It just needs to be bullish, right? It just needs to be bullish for. I mean, if Goldman's up, then that means the market's up. All right, so Avgo, again, we're going a little bit over today, 903. Again, Avgo, nice rally. This is Broadcom, nice rally. Now they are going to have a dividend yield. Remember, they raised dividend on the 21st, so this is why people ran to it. I suspect there's probably not going to be a sell-off until that dividend yield, and because people want that nice heavy dividend. Now these guys, it's pretty far away from the 50, so I wouldn't go chasing that trade on the dailies. Broadcom pretty far away from here. On the 50-minute time frame, maybe 632 if it take it higher to 645. But again, we're pretty far away on all ranges here. I'm going to give you a bearish trade. Upstart. If it can take out that 200, it's probably going to go higher. But again, we're pretty far away. Looks like a basing pattern, or they're going to do one more push lower. I'm guessing it's probably going to go to the 50-day moving average at 178 at some moment. Let's see how this basing pattern here occurs. If it takes out 166, then it's probably going to be a play to 178. All right. Zoom taking its way lower. Again, pretty far away where it probably needs to retrace a little bit. If it's going to come back, we'll see. We'll see if it can take out 186. Then it's probably going to go to 189. Not much of a play there. 191. All right, guys. So I want to give you some times. I gave you some plays there. Didn't have time to go through everything at this moment, but again, the whole point of this video was to make sure that I kind of share with you how to dissect your stock, how to dissect the order flow using just price action. And again, before I leave, I am going to cover Bitcoin because I do have a bet on Bitcoin. So Bitcoin working its way lower. We are closer to the end. Now, I am noticing some consolidation right in here of 52,000 or 52.1 to be exact. And right here between 42. So we have a $10,000 spread here. Now it is holding the 200-day moving average pretty nicely, but we'll see. Now, like anything, like I said, it's probably going to come back. If it breaks that 52,000, 52.1, it's probably going to break through and push to the 50-day moving average right in here. Now, you also have a VWAP that I started from back here, and the VWAP is right at that 55. So more likely, I think it's probably going to go to 55. What happens there, I don't know. But again, with the Fed news, it is going to move the crypto market as well. Watch MicroStrategy. It moves along with Bitcoin if you want to take a trade. This is hourly on MicroStrategy. If it can take out 647, that means that this could be a nice move to the high and as Bitcoin goes up. We'll see if that's real or not. Again, I have my alerts up here. Ethereum. Losing the battle. They're taking it lower. Again, where you want to watch Ethereum is probably going to go down to, I have two places. I have a VWAP here that I started from this rally right here on July 19th, and it's holding. This is where they came in and bought. So 35.60 is what we're going to be looking at, but it looks like it's losing the battle here. And we have the 200-day moving average at 32.48. All right, guys. A lot of plays here to cover. And again, make sure on Wednesday, tune in every day. But Wednesday, I have a play. Actually, I have a couple of plays. I have another play that it's going to be a big, big play for 2022. I'm going to see. Don't want to announce it yet, but I want to see how the Fed reacts on Wednesday. And that play will be in play for the next quarter. Okay, and I'll share that with you. Make sure to tune in, subscribe. And let me know what you guys think. So again, all right. Let me see what's all right. All right, guys. So that's all we got. It is right now 9:08. So we did a pretty good job covering it. And go out there, stay green. Go get it. Don't stress. There would be a lot of opportunities out there no matter which way the market goes. The S&P, the E-mini is just pulling back a little bit. Make sure the most important thing that as you move forward with these markets and navigate, you have a good attitude. Make sure to stay nimble and go out there, go get it. God bless. I'm going to be doing the follow through on TradingView. As I said, I decided to do it for the remainder of December. What happens in December, I don't know. But if you want to have access to that, basically just go to my the YouTube channel, go to TradingView, and it'll direct you right there. And before I leave, guys, make sure to subscribe and like, and leave me a little comment. Let me know what you're doing. Let's grow this community. All right, guys, go out there, go get it, and stay green.